Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the second quarter of 2020 outlook for the sign of Virgo. This is for April, May, June. And this is just a general outlook to see what you may or may not be going through this period. Now, this outlook could involve anything, career, business, love coming in, whatever the cards say. I'm going to go ahead and convey that message. But we do know that this reading can't possibly be for all Virgos out there, so please just take it as it comes to you. And if it's not at all what you're going through, if it doesn't seem to indicate or relate to anything in your life, then this reading just simply isn't for you. All right, guys? So don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video if you enjoy it. And don't forget to check out the other videos, which are all linked in the description below. Your 2020 overall outlook, your 2020 overall love outlook, etc., etc. All right, guys? So let's get right into cutting your deck. I've already been shuffling off camera for quite some time. And we're going to get right into your full Celtic spread. All right, Virgo? Straight out, we have Four of Cups, covered with Temperance. Wow. King of Swords, and the Six of Cups. All right, so this is certainly going to be an outlook into an area of love or relationships. We have the Hierophant coming in, and coming out of this period, you have a Three of Wands. The Moon and Three of Swords. Wow, this is the energy you come in with and what's meeting you. Queen of Cups is your hopes and dreams and fears, and your outcome is Lover's energy. So this is definitely a love reading. Four of Swords, another four. So we're talking about stabilizing, right? Stability and love, either achieving it or maintaining it. Right away, I'm going to say that this is something to do with a love connection that isn't quite there just yet, or there has been some kind of challenge going on. But we are going to get into it. Let's let this message start to unfold for you. All right, Virgo, straight out at the center, you have Four of Cups. This is your main focus for this period. And Four of Cups is really this feeling of not wanting to accept a cup of love from someone. You're covered with Temperance energy. So, of course, you're being very, very tempered right now, very careful right now, very considered about your decisions that you're making, about the way that you're reacting. But certainly Four of Cups is all about somebody wanting to offer you a cup of love and you're just not there for it. This could be a period where somebody's trying to reconcile with you. You guys may have stopped speaking, or you may be in challenge. This is a relationship that may have broken up. This could be an ex trying to come back into your life and you're just not having any of it. Temperance energy also, like I said, is a feeling of not reacting, right? It's being very, very strong within yourself in terms of, staying true to your position, right? Staying true to your outlook, your position, the way you want to conduct yourself and interact. Temperance is all about not allowing the outside world, outside influences or energies that are coming your way to make you change your attitude or act a certain way that isn't in line with the way you have already decided to act, or isn't in line with the stance that you've already committed to. So Temperance is all about staying strong, staying even keel, right? And so this could very well be an individual coming in. They may be trying to play on your emotions, or they may be trying to play on your heartstrings, your guilt, or what have you, right? Trying to push your buttons or trigger you to react in some kind of way. You're just not having any of it. Now, King of Swords is in your conscious area for this period. So you're being very, very sort of, I want to say, very determined and very specific about what you will and will not accept. The King of Swords is a great rule maker. He's the great disciplinarian. Also, it just indicates to me that you're being extremely strong right now about rules, right? The rules of engagement, right? The rules of conduct. You are requiring that people are absolutely honest with you. You're not taking any prisoners, right? King of Swords is also someone who can see right through all the bullshit, right? So this is an energy of having absolute clarity and focus and understanding, and not being not being manipulated in any way, not being fooled in any way. No one's going to sort of pull the wool over your eyes, right? You can see right through everyone's actions, and you can see whether they're being honest with you or not. And you're absolutely, I'm going to say, making no compromises, right? This definitely more and more begins to feel to me like you were hurt. Right? This is a feeling of having been hurt or a breakup that happened, and you're just, I'm going to say you're just not willing to let this person back in so quickly, and you're being very, very severe about what you're allowing into your life now. Six of Cups is in the back of your mind, and so yes, this is definitely a feeling of, you do want love. You want love. You want a connection, but you want it to be right. You want it to be pleasant. And the thing is, you're holding true to that. Six of Cups can also indicate that in the back of your mind, because this is the front of your mind, your focus, this is the back of your mind, your sort of subconscious area, what you're kind of thinking about. You're thinking about a nice connection with someone and having this pleasant interaction. It could very well be that you missed that. You may have indeed had, to a certain degree, a nice connection with this person. It's maybe somebody that you've been friends with for a very long time. Six of Cups is a soulmate card. It's also a card for harmonious relationships. So a lot of times it can indicate friendships, long-term friendships, soulmates. It doesn't always have to be a twin flame or a romantic journey, right? It can be just such a strong relationship that over the years has developed and has always been harmonious. And so this is in the back of your mind, and it feels to me very much, Virgo, like you missed that. You may be missing that interaction. You may be certainly wishing for this kind of interaction to occur, but you're not willing to, I don't think you're willing to compromise yourself just to have a little bit of fun, right? I don't think you're willing to compromise yourself just for the sake of what feels good. Six of Cups is definitely the card for pleasure, right? Hierophant is how you're coming into this period. So I'm going to say you're coming into this period very, very determined, very sort of committed to your moral code, your spiritual code, your moral code. It could very well be that something in this relationship, this connection, broke down because maybe something happened that went against your beliefs or was against like sort of whatever your faith is, right? You may have been involved with somebody that you found out was married, right? Something like that. Or you may be involved with somebody, or you may have had a relationship here with this Four of Cups. Because again, I feel like this is somebody coming back trying to apologize with someone who, in some way offended you. Their behavior may have offended you to such a degree, right, that you didn't see any way forward, But whatever the case is, it's like you're sticking with your beliefs, your faith, your moral center, your spiritual center. It could also be that you may have been involved with somebody that you were like, look, if we've been together for so many years, if we don't get married, what is the point, There's some issue to do with commitment and your set of morals that you are holding fast to. You're holding on to that very, very strongly coming into this period. And I think that this commitment that you have to this moral center is something that is allowing you to maintain your strength and your temperance. Right? So it's like, look, I'm not going to deal with you. Like if I use that example of someone you find out you've been involved with, you find out this person is engaged. I've done private readings for people who are, they are, talking about this soulmate that they've been with. They don't live with them. They're not, in any kind of deep commitment. But then they find out that this person they've been dating, that they're in love with, is engaged to someone else, living with somebody else and engaged, right? Or married and living with somebody else. And yet they are still willing to hold on to this idea that this is their soulmate, And I always say, if you meet somebody and you believe they're your soulmate, but they're with somebody else, that is a moral flaw. That is a flaw there. If they're not willing to handle the relationship they're with, either break it up or break up with you, then you're dealing with somebody who has a low character. That's a character flaw. And to sort of ignore that because you just insist that they are meant to be with you, then what you're doing is you're ignoring the fact that you believe your soulmate is somebody who would have a low character, a low character fiber, right? Lacking moral, that's what I mean to say, lacking moral fiber. Is the person that you consider your soulmate someone that you would also then, that somebody else would say is a bum, is a cheat, is a liar, is somebody who lacks character or moral fiber? Is that what you imagine for your soulmate? Because it's not what I would want to look at as someone that I consider my soulmate. I would always want to consider someone who is my soulmate to be someone who is also at a certain level morally, spiritually, who has character, who has a sense of right and wrong, who has a moral code, and certainly someone who is strong enough to handle a relationship, breaking up with a relationship if they're truly in love with me. Now, this is an example of what I'm talking about. Like here, if this was the situation with you, Virgo, then you're not willing to take this person. You're not willing to engage in them. You're not willing to make compromises simply for your own happiness, your own satisfaction, not caring the fact that this person is hurting somebody else in another relationship because they're effectively lying and cheating, to sort of wash over that just for the sake of your own happiness also can indicate a lack of moral fiber within you. But this is not what you're doing, Virgo. You're staying strong. And this is an example of what I'm talking about you sticking to your moral center, sticking to your spiritual sort of code. And the idea of what you believe in to be right and wrong. And this is what the Hierophant is all about. Having a commitment to that and not compromising that simply for your own sort of shallow happiness, that you can say, well, he's mine or she's mine, you know what I mean? And so you should be very proud of yourself that you are able to stand strong in this. Nevertheless, it is causing you heartache, right? And this comes back to that Six of Cups back here. It could be, like I said, that you may have been dealing with somebody that, yeah, maybe they have actually, the part of the pain or part of the fact that you refuse to take them back is that you see that maybe they have a good relationship somewhere else with someone else. And you're like, well, hang on a second, I would love to have this relationship with you too, but it can't happen this way because this is not the right way to do things. So you're staying strong. You're staying true to yourself. With Hierophant and Temperance, this is very strong sort of energy. It is certainly this is certainly a reading for a Virgo who is not going to compromise what they believe to be right and wrong in the world, right, for their own happiness. Now, you come out of this period with a Three of Wands, which is a feeling of waiting. Patience. 3 is the number for virtue and patience in tarot. It is a feeling of waiting for information to come in, right? Waiting for new events, information, meetings, etc. You're waiting for some kind of news or some kind of event in your life to come in so that you can make the right decision moving forward. You're kind of being forced to pause right now. And I think that that's what's also going to be happening towards the end of April, May, June. Throughout April and May, you're going to probably be dealing a lot with this. You may be seeing this person a lot. They may be making themselves very much available, like always, every time you go out, you run into them. They may be in your social group or what have you. But certainly by the end of this quarter, you're still not going to be sure about which way to move, how to move forward. I'm not saying that you're not going to be sure necessarily about taking them back or accepting their cup of love. I think in general, you're going to be pausing and waiting to make any decisions about your love life until the right information comes into you. Now, you do come into this period, this is interesting, you do come into this period with moon energy, and you're met with a Three of Swords. So you do come into this period still feeling very unsure. I think that, yes, although you are sticking to your guns with that Four of Cups and Temperance energy, you're still unsure about your own feelings, and I think you're still going to be battling to a certain degree with the fact that part of you is still in love with them. Again, coming back to the Six of Cups in the back of your mind, there may be still this love there. You may still be also missing this connection. Yes, and so a lot of your emotions are going to be unsure. You're not really going to be knowing what the next step is. I think that a lot of this is going to feel like a test to you as well. right? The moon is a testing phase. And I think for you, a lot of this is going to be about you and your faith being tested. Again, going back to the Hierophant, testing exactly how strong you are and how committed you are to the right path, regardless of how painful it may be. What meets you is the Three of Swords, and this is a feeling of betrayal. Right. And I think that there's going to be even more information that comes out during this April, May, June, where you're really going to find out the nature of this connection with this person. I think you're going to find out that even though they have come back to try and say that they're sorry, there is still a kernel of betrayal within them, meaning they may not be meaning this apology. It could be that they're really playing with your heart and your emotions. And 1 minute they make you sort of try to believe that they really truly want you back. They really are sorry. And then in the next moment you find out that they're still up to the shenanigans that they were up to. You know, that despite all of this, handing of a cup of love to you, they're still not willing to let go of the things that caused the betrayal in the first place. And so it's interesting that coming into this period, you're going to be feeling quite unsure with that moon. But what is sure is this constant information that's going to come to you that you really can't trust this person, or you really can't trust their actions, that there's still more betrayal to come, And so I think in a lot of ways, it's going to be, yet again, a feeling of being tested. How strong is your resolve to remain committed to your moral center, to what you believe is right and wrong, to the way you believe a soulmate connection could go? Who on earth wants to start a twin flame journey with somebody who's already involved with somebody else? First of all, that reeks of drama. Right? That reeks of pain, that reeks of lying, that reeks of low moral fiber, that reeks of a lack of character. Who wants that? I mean, unless this individual absolutely leaves their current relationship, gets divorced, whatever the case may be, and makes a real sort of effort to be with you out and out, up and up, above board, letting everybody know, okay, I'm no longer in love with this person, I'm in love with Virgo, and I'm going to do everything I can to be with my Virgo honestly. Aside from that scenario, who on earth would want to even engage in that kind of drama? Right? And so I think that as this drama keeps coming back to you, you keep being reminded that you're dealing with somebody who is a liar, who's going to break your trust, who's going to break the loyalty, because Three of Swords is all about breaking trust and loyalty. Third-party energy is just one very simple example of that. But Three of Swords can also be someone who's abusive 1 minute, and then the next minute they try to convince you that they love you, and then they abuse you again. Three of Swords covers many, many areas of betrayal, not just third party. I wanted to just put that in there because I often find a lot of readers are incapable of interpreting this card any other way except for third party energy. However, as this more and more sort of information comes in to show their betrayal, because Swords is the card, is the suit for communication, right? So we're talking about messages, information, actions, communication. They sort of convey betrayal, distrust, disloyalty. I think you're going to become more and more sure of what your feelings truly are. And you're going to, like I say, you're going to be feeling like you're being tested, but you're going to come through very strong out of this test. Queen of Cups is the position for your hopes and dreams and your fears. And I think in a lot of ways you fear being too open and sensitive and really having your heart played with. Yet at the same time, you desire it. You really desire a connection with somebody that you can open up to. And because you're having a lot of betrayal coming back and dishonesty here, I think that part of you is feeling very sort of worried or skittish or nervous about really opening your heart up to somebody else, or somebody new, or to this individual. Yet, this is something that you truly, truly desire. I'm going to say that part of this message is not to lose yourself just because you've been hurt here, because you're dealing with somebody who is doesn't have very much character, doesn't have a very good moral center. Don't allow this situation and the betrayal that you're experiencing, this testing phase that you're going through, don't allow it to close your heart. Keep your heart open. Keep your heart chakra open and realize that not all situations are going to be like this, because you're going to round this period off with the Lovers. Interestingly enough, you're going to round off with Lovers, and this could be a new love connection coming in, a strong love connection. It could also be that as a result of the fact that you are standing strong and remaining strong and sticking to your guns and sticking to your position, your person may indeed make the right moves that they need to make to reconcile this relationship the right way. So like I said earlier, if you're dealing with somebody who is like, okay, you know what, I have to come correct. And again, this is just an example of you dealing with somebody who may be married or engaged. This is just an example of the energy I'm talking about. But having the Lovers show up could indicate that your person says, you know what, you're right. I've been half-stepping. I haven't been honest. I've been weak. I've been a coward. Let me step to the plate and handle my current situation, break it up. Let me leave my fiance or leave my wife or husband or what have you. Let me leave this relationship because what I truly want is this relationship with you, Virgo, but I want it right and I want it honest and I want to prove to you that I truly care. If your individual is able to do that, because of the fact that you are making it clear that there is no other way that you will engage with them unless they do that, it could very well be that that's what turns out. Because Lovers does indicate a connection with someone where you are learning a lot of lessons, where there's a lot of give and take, and there's definitely ups and downs, right? That's the nature of the Lovers card. Finding harmony includes dealing with the downs and dealing with the bad times also. If your person comes correct, this could certainly be an outcome. Let me give you your clarifiers, and then we're going to call this your reading, Virgo. It's very interesting that Lovers will come out because I don't feel that it is a new connection. It could be. It could be, but it can also be that as a result of all of this, you do refuse this cup of love. You don't take them back. You don't have the reconciliation. But what you do have is by the end of this April, May, June period, you find yourself in a very emotionally healthy and a very emotionally strong place to be open to a real strong, harmonious love connection, right? You haven't allowed this situation to shut you down. You haven't allowed it to shut your heart chakra down. You haven't allowed it to make you resentful, and you haven't allowed it to make you compromise your standing or your position just for the sake of having this person back. You've been so strong throughout all of it that it could very well indicate that you are emotionally, mentally ready for a real strong love connection to come in with that Major Arcana 6. Chariot, wanting to move forward. 6 of Pentacles, another 6. We have Prince of Pentacles, interesting, and a 6 of Swords. So we've had a lot of 6s come out. We have 6 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. We have Major Arcana 6. So there's a real desire here to move towards harmony. At the bottom of the card, we have 2 of Cups. So that's a balance, coming together with balance. All right, so the Chariot indicates here that you are trying to move forward with your life, and this person better, they better either get their shit together and come correct, or you're going to move on without them, and that's it. You're not compromising this position. You're being very clear about it. You're putting things in place. You are absolutely ready to move forward with your life, and you're not slowing down to wait for them to try to figure out what their position is. You're letting them know, and then this could also be one of the reasons why there is a possibility that they change their tune and that they, straighten up, fly right, and come correct with you. 6 of Pentacles covering 6 of Cups. Harmony, harmony, harmony. So a lot of this is about, wanting that harmonious love connection with someone that is also, financially stable, right? You're wanting a real nice, happy home life. 6 of Pentacles is all about giving and taking, having charity as well as having abundance. And it's just this feeling that in the back of your mind, you just want to have a happy, harmonious home life with someone, connection, love connection with someone. And this is really going to be your main sort of position. You're just not willing to compromise that, right? You're not willing to sort of move on that position. And so 6 of Pentacles indicates that you're wanting a connection with somebody who is financially responsible, somebody who's caring, somebody who, where you guys are not only have harmony in your emotions and physicality, but you also have harmony in surviving and being able to actually have a life together, right? Could very well be that part of the reason this relationship went into challenge is because you're dealing with somebody who's not willing to work very hard, or who's not doing, who's not bringing in financial stability because they're being lazy or what have you. There's an aspect here of that with the Six of Pentacles. Could be that, we say sometimes you're dealing with a bomb, somebody who's just a taker and not a giver. And again, this could be one of the things that you're saying, look, I'm not going to compromise on this anymore, right? Prince of Pentacles, more Pentacles energy comes in with this Hierophant. Well, Prince of Pentacles really talks about being very practical, right? The Prince is the Knight of Pentacles. So here we have really a feeling of being on a particular path with regard to your career and your business as well. And it's interesting that this will come out over the Hierophant. It could very well be that, the Hierophant can really indicate a high level of commitment in many areas of your life, right? Because the Hierophant, in essence, is being committed, right? 100%. Could be as well that you're coming into this period with a high level of commitment to your career or your business. It may have been that as a result of dealing with this individual in the past, that may have suffered a little bit, right? Because you may have been going through a lot of emotional things. You may have been going through arguments and ups and downs. And so, of course, that had a knock-on effect on how much you were focusing on your own sort of financial stability and abundance, your career, your work. Again, you're being more committed to that. It could be that you were dealing with somebody who's really taking you away from that. And again, this is another area where you're unwilling to compromise, right? Now we have Six of Swords coming in for over that Three of Wands, okay? So Six of Swords, beautiful energy. Right, here we're talking about, again, sort of a victory, right? Having a little bit of a victory. So towards the end of this period, you are going to be feeling very victorious in the sense that, again, I get the feeling that this is a Virgo who's really going to stick to their guns. They're not going to be manipulated. And part of this, strength that you're exhibiting, right, focus and strength that you're exhibiting is going to lead to a certain victory by the end of this period. Again, it could be the victory is that your person finally decides to get their shit together and fix this situation so that you guys can actually be together the right way. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, it could be, the victory comes because you stand strong, and I'm not saying that this is a relationship that is doomed. What I am saying, though, is that if you want this connection, there is hope for the connection, but there's only hope for connection if A, you stand strong to your moral center and your commitment and your idea of what is right in the way that you want your relationship to go, and that they are willing to make the change, right? Willing to make that effort. Now, that could very well be. That could very well be towards the end of this period, Six of Swords, that victory, that Three of Wands, that waiting. Yes, you've maybe been quite patient. You haven't been making decisions about your love life because maybe you have been keeping the door open for them, but only open for them if they act correct, if they bring the right, attitude and the right commitment to this situation. Two of Cups at the bottom, again, talks about coming together in a very balanced way. There is hope for this relationship, certainly, but you both have to come to it with the same intentions and the same desires, right? And of course, you have to stay strong. Four of Swords, again, also is at the bottom of the deck here, indicating that every decision that you're making, you are trying to maintain your stability. You don't want your stability to be taken away from you. You've worked very hard to get where you're at. You've worked very hard for your emotional stability and your mental and physical stability. And so every decision you're making going forward, you're going to be very careful about it. You're going to watch out for red flags. You're going to be very strategic. You're going to say, look, every decision I make, I'm making for my ultimate good and maintaining my stability, and I'm not going to compromise. Just like that King of Swords says, I'm not going to compromise. Interesting, but underneath we have Judgment, which is all about reconciliation. All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your reading for April, May, June. This is for a Virgo who is dealing with someone trying to reconcile with them. And they're really going to have to bring their A game and really, like I said, straighten up, fly right, and bring the right things to the table for you to allow them back in. There is possibility, there is a chance for this to work out, but like I said, all of the factors have to fit into place just right. All right, Virgo, for right now I'm just going to say, if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check out your other readings that are linked in the description. But for right now, Virgo, have a wonderful second quarter of 2020, and I shall see you in your next Virgo video. Bye bye now.